All right, last category is the most interesting one for Bulls fans, Most Improved Player Award. And I don't know about you, Go, but I was a little surprised to see that Coby White received the same number of first place votes as Victor Wembanyama, coming in just behind Wemby and Jalen Williams, who tied for first with 26 points overall. Coby finishes with 25 points, so literally right there, just like we saw him narrowly lose out on this award last season to Tyrese Maxey of the 76ers. You were just kind of talking about it when we were talking about our 2K top 100 rankings conversation and where Coby ended up there. Like the likelihood of Coby making a sizable leap comparable to the one he just made from 2 seasons ago to last season to this season, I don't know. I don't dislike the fact that Coby is right there in the mix with Wemby and Jalen Williams as far as pre-season beginning prediction for who's winning this award, but I'm surprised.
I mean, Wembanyama is already a star player. He was like incredible, especially in the second half of last year. There's no reason he should be in the mix for this unless he becomes like an MVP caliber player. At which point,
unless
like,
he goes from
why not just vote him for MVP?
Like 30 and 18.
Yeah, why not just like give him MVP and Defensive Player of the Year? Like, Most Improved is like just completely warped, I think, at this point. Coby not winning it last year, I get that he was very close, but like he improved his standing in the NBA more than any other player in the league last year. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey was incredible. He had a great season. He had a great season the year before. Coby's leap from being a unreliable bench scorer to, a very high level fringe all-star caliber starter. That is like the leap that I think this award should be about. And so you put Jalen Williams, who's already obviously, a fringe all-star caliber player, Wembanyama, who's, going to be one of the great players of all time. I don't see it. Like Cam Thomas is a guy that to me makes more sense because the Nets don't have anybody on their roster. Somebody needs to score. Nobody can just put up baskets better than Cam Thomas. And he's just going to have all the opportunity in the world to score as many points as possible. I could see him being a real one. If Cade and the Pistons like improve as a team, I could see him, getting some love in that category. I just don't think that like these top three people should be in the conversation at all based on the fact that like their leaps are behind them. They're already really good players. Like to me, that's not what this award should be about. I don't have a vote. That's not how I would do it though. But I just don't get that.
Yeah, and your point about Wemby and who should be up for what for which awards. I think somebody in the comments a little while ago was saying, Wemby could win MVP this season. I don't think the Spurs as a team are going to be good enough to warrant him being in the MVP conversation. But even still, and by the way, a category that we didn't even touch on because no Bulls were going to be anywhere near it, and none received any votes, was Defensive Player of the Year. Wemby won that votes-wise in a landslide. I think he also actually did get some votes for winning MVP. Did not finish in the top 10 for who is likely to win MVP next season. But yes, of course, won Defensive Player of the Year voting with 67% of the first place votes. A lot of people thought that he maybe had a case at that award last year. But as far as being back to Coby and why he's on this list, our guy Strick in the comments just said, I'm taking a Coby second leap, lock it in. It's possible that we see Coby White get better this season than he was last season. I don't know that I would even call it likely that we see Coby take a measurable leap this season and enough of one to be in the conversation for this award. I just don't see it.
I mean, if we do think about it that way, in terms of like Maxey winning it last year, a guy that took a leap last year and then got better with more opportunity this year, that is kind of the formula. So maybe in that sense, Coby could be in the running. But to me, like he should have won it last year. That doesn't mean that you give it to him next year because he got robbed. It's like, I think that was the year when he should have won it. I think last year would have been the year for Jalen Williams or, obviously Wembanyama was a rookie, so that doesn't work. But like to me, and I don't think second-year players should get it. I think it should be about guys who completely change their standing when they are in their third, fourth, fifth, or beyond, when they aren't supposed to make the leap that they just made. Coby was not supposed to be, a 9-point per game bench scorer into a fringe all-star type starter in his fifth year. Like that doesn't happen. And so to me, that was the unprecedented leap. That's the one that should be rewarded. And maybe again, he gets it. Like a lot of times this stuff is a year too late. And so maybe he gets it in that regard. this year, but I do think he's going to have a much more difficult season just because of the fact that he's not going to be playing alongside DeRozan. And so I wonder, if he's going to, how he handles that. I think he's going to be great, but I'm just curious to see how that goes.
Fish saying that Coby totally should have won Most Improved last year. DeMar should have won Clutch too. Really subjective awards, and that's kind of like the thing you were saying, like retroactively awarding somebody for maybe getting hosed the season prior because the Clutch Player of the Year award didn't exist in 21-22 when DeMar did the DeMar things that we all saw and loved that season. But yeah, I think I'm with you. Like if the voting actually works in a way that I think it should, the guys who finished 4th and 5th in among vote getters, Cade and Cam Thomas, I think will be more likely to win Most Improved than Wemby, Jalen, or Coby, because Jalen already is seen as kind of a star. Maybe his stats improve a little bit, but not a huge leap. Wemby's probably going to win DPOY, so likelihood that he also wins Most Improved, I think, is a little bit slim. Maybe he even makes an All-NBA squad, so they don't feel the need to give him this award. And I just don't know if Coby's making that leap statistically. I'm with you. I think it's very difficult to do so. I think there is a very real path for Cade and Cam Thomas to each get, even if they're on teams that are still blah. If those blah teams are not quite as blah because of them and the fact that they take a step towards stardom, I think that's maybe your guys who should be your front runners.
We all silly like the mayor.